New Earth AC was formed by divine guidance to help lift up humanity and raise the vibration of all. New Earth is a community that started as a Facebook group and has grown to become an online interactive platform for those seeking to uplift, empower, and co-create with one another. On top of uplifting and inspiring posts, we began to connect with our members on a more deeper level. We now regularly host what we call Unity Circles and live stream them on our YouTube channel. Each circle is hosted by a member who wishes to share their knowledge and gifts out to the world in hopes that they can make a difference in the lives of others. You can find these circles inside the New Earth AC Divine Ray store and on our YouTube channel. Please take whatever resonates and let the rest fall away. New Earth AC is always on the lookout for new Unity Circle hosts. If you have special gifts and know that what you have could uplift, empower, and inspire others, if you want to make a difference in the world, why not host an online Unity Circle with us? We always live stream the circles onto the New Earth YouTube channel and promote our hosts to the world. If you think you have something to give, let Bonnie Bird, David Starr, and Robin Nicole know personally, or email us at newearthac1111@gmail.com, and we will place you onto the calendar and bring you onto a community chat to let everyone get to know you before your circle. Hello, everybody. We're here again today for a community chat. So today is all about our member. Her name is Sarah Elizabeth, and we brought her on today to basically get to know her a little bit better. She is a mother, a starseed, a blueprinter, a divine healer, and all of the things that go in between all of that. She's been navigating her spirituality her entire life, but has recently accelerated, but she started accelerating in 2002 and had an awakening during her first attunement of Reiki when she was doing her Reiki level 1. So I can't wait to bring her on and hear all about this, because I had an amazing time when I had my attunement as well. So it would be cool we could talk about our attunements. So, okay, so here we go. Hello, Sarah. Welcome. Welcome to the New Earth AC.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so nervous. I'm so sorry, guys, but I am nervous.
Well, can you start telling us about what happened when you had your Reiki attunement? What happened that kind of woke you up?
Okay, so my level 1, it was from my sister, who it wasn't a routine, so to speak. It wasn't your normal attunement. She just basically opened me up. I knew nothing. I had no knowledge to go with it, which it wasn't all bad now looking back. But yes, so she opened me up so much that I went through a bit of an experience in 2002. So it basically, I felt like I was going through a wall. It was terrifying at the time. It was absolutely terrifying. It brought on, obviously, level 1 is your self-healing. So it brought all my, I woke up sobbing most days. I went through all the rigmarole, but I didn't understand, so it didn't really do any justice for me. But it was the awakening that knocked me for 6. I thought I was dying. It was that intense. It was that severe. But at the end of it, I don't want to say too much about it, because I've been guided to write a book about my awakening, which that's going to be cool. There's only my husband that knows snippets. No one knows about my experience then. But yeah, so then I had the aftermath was pretty cool. because that was the first time I ever saw a starship, as I call them now. And I believe it was the mothership. So from there, I just accelerated. I become a mother myself in 2003. And yeah, I put me all into being a mother. I first didn't again know anything about the healing side of it. I didn't know what I was experiencing. It kind of made it from me attunement. It kind of made me lose myself, because I was always the magical one, the positive one. People used to get frustrated with me because they'd come to me and I'd always advise them that there's a positive and negative choice to be made. So I was always the annoying positive friend. And my level one it kind of put the fear in me, because I didn't understand, I didn't understand it. And that brought me to 2016, where I had my level 2. And then with a different lady, who my dear friend Amy, but all the electricity went off in a house, and she couldn't understand why I'd waited so long to have it. And then yeah, I just bombarded myself with modality after modality to try and find me. That's basically where my journey started.
I went and put mute on myself while I was trying to share you, because I didn't want everything to like make all this noise when I went to go do it. I was like, I'm talking to you and you can't hear me. So, yeah, that sounds really interesting, really cool. So when you first did your Reiki, did you actually were you taking the course, or did she just do an attunement on you?
No, I literally just had an attunement. I got given a file with, where to put your hand placed on you and things like that. But to be honest, it's done me the world of good. It's actually got me to where I am right now. Because to me, my attitude is it's someone else's theory, it's someone else's work. Now, no disrespect to people who follow manuals, if that's your calling, but for me, I like to play. I call it playing with the energies. So I use what works for me. So yeah, so it's got me.
My Reiki master, the lady Bonnie that did my Reiki certification, we had such a difficult time when I was doing it. And luckily she was very open to not having to do it like exactly like right by the book kind of thing. She let me she came and met me where I was at. And that was really nice, because things have changed since, everybody did Reiki back in like 20 years ago. Yeah. And so it's a lot different when she does her Reiki classes now. And she's finding as well that when she has new people coming on now, she's like level 1, sometimes they're coming in already like at Reiki master level for level 1.
I believe that everyone especially in this time period, everyone is. It's more going back to basics to get the understanding. It's all about the layers, isn't it? That's how I see it anyway. So yeah, usui Reiki was my first love. And I've literally every Reiki you can think of, I've done. Again, just trying to. I think I was raised in a very Catholic, stern upbringing. Very, very. I'm like the devil to my father, even to this day. So I think when I got to a certain age where I felt brave enough, I just bombarded myself because I could. Like,
did you find do you find that because you were Catholic? No, I was not raised Catholic. I was raised Protestant, Methodist is in fact what I was raised at. But I found that at first, like it was really hard for me to tell my mother, because my mother was like really, really religious. And as far as what it was I was doing, you know, here for years, like when I was younger, I used to go see psychics. And I remember mentioning to her at one stage, and she was just kind of like, you know, that's kind of like, we don't do that. And I just kind of was like, well, I would fight. I would always kind of like, you know, like when we were in church, they would say, like, there was this creed that you have to say in church, I think it's the Apostles' Creed or something.
Yeah.
And inside it, it says that we look for the resurrection of the dead and the life of the world to come.
Yeah.
And I was like, we don't always have to go back to the Bible, guys. Like, we're supposed to be looking for the future and the life of the world to come. And like, why you're not letting me like expand and go like this direction, the way we're meant to go? Why do you want me to keep going back to the stories only that you're being told in the church? And so yeah, it was really hard for me to let her know like what I was doing. And hey, Mom, I never told her that I had this like Shine Your Light network, and I go out and I like do all this stuff and light language and everything. Never told her. And she passed away this year, and never. And afterwards, after she passed away, I feel so free, because like I had like 2 Facebook accounts. I had one that was like me, like the one that doesn't really show who I really am. It's just kind of like for family, and they could see my pictures and stuff. And then I had this other one that was like my spiritual, I call it like my 5D and higher Facebook account. And after she passed away, I started sharing all of my 5D stuff onto my other one. But I was always worried. That she would like reject me or something if she knew like what I was doing. It was like I was doing something that was like sacrilegious or something.
It's so hard, isn't it? And you know, God bless them. It's not even their fault. It's a generational thing, isn't it? It's how they were brought up. So my upbringing, I can speak about it now, but you know, I love it. I love my upbringing, because I picked like the hardest household to ever come in on, and it's just so funny. Like, when you know, but it's just so funny. But yeah, so my mum, she's Palladian through and through. She's so loving and but so fearful as well. Whereas my dad was this big stern Catholic. He was like, the one of 9 children, big huge family, and I was made to go to church every week for 18 years of my life, and it was, I struggled with, like, my first guide that I ever saw was Yeshua, and I struggled with that for a long time because I rejected anything to do with religion, and I put him in the religion category, and he's nothing to do with the religion category, but the religion side of it, it was just so hypocritical. It was untrue in the church, but it's so sad as well, because they think they're doing what we do. Like, we are the actual religion, spiritual people. It's so funny. It's just so funny. Makes me laugh.
Yeah,
so I still hide myself now. I don't so much. I promised myself everything changed for me when I turned 40. So it was lockdown. I was 40, and I literally prayed, put my hands together in front of the sun, my little go-to, and I promised myself that enough of hiding, enough of not sharing my light. So,
and that's why, is that one of the reasons why you decided to come on today? Because you've been very nervous coming on before. You were like, I can't believe that I'm doing this, and let's just go and everything. And so it's nice because you're not hiding anymore. The worst thing that I think we can do is hide. And the thing of it is I hid for so long, and I didn't let people know who I really was and what I really like, what I really stand for, and what I feel inside, because I never like wanted to push what I felt onto like anybody else. I never wanted to tell them what they should do, even though everybody felt that it was okay to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
But I think that I worried about like my family and my close friends. I thought, you know, if they really know who I really am, they're not gonna, maybe they'll go away and then I won't have them in my life anymore. And that was the scariest part. But the funny thing is once I actually started going out and I started being who I am, they never even noticed. They never even paid attention. They didn't even care. I was worried about them knowing really. They didn't care.
Yeah.
And the ones who do care, like they just kind of fell away. I have one cousin that she's one of those was a Jehovah's Witness people, and she used to call me like all the time. And then when she found my spiritual Facebook page one day, and she saw me doing my shows, and I started telling my story and what I believe and everything like that, she all of a sudden stopped talking to me. She's the only one like that has done that. Everybody else still keeps in touch.
Jehovah's Witness don't like the word spirituality.
Mm-hmm. I've
received a few at my door.
I think she was trying to turn me, because there was times when I'd be on the phone with her and she'd say, you know, we're like, I know you're meant to come over, and let's just promise me you'll look at Jehovah and all this stuff. I was just like, yeah, okay. And I never would say what I do and what I believe, because I don't believe in pushing what I do. Yeah. Or what I believe onto anybody else, because I think the spiritual path is very much within, and it changes from moment to moment. Do you find that like you just feel like you figured out what exactly everything is, and then as soon as you think you got it, there's always something new that shows up?
What was funny, I used to take umbrage at my mum saying, oh, you've changed. And I used to think it was a derogatory term for me. And now she says, you've changed. And I go, thank you. Because we're supposed to. I change by the second. I tend to just be in flow now. So this past, since lockdown really, and I was on furlough from, I've always worked in offices. And when people meet me on a personal level, they're shocked that I used to work in admin or accounts. But I could hide away. So I've always been within anyway. I've had to be for survival. So I was playing the magical, but just for me kind of thing. And then as soon as lockdown,
pulling the cards, doing all the things, but
yeah, as soon as lockdown hit, it was, you can't ever go back. And then I started. I've never ever meditated until May 2020.
Really?
And yeah, so I've always been clairaudient, always. So I've never felt the need to sit and clear the mind. I've never had to go through those steps. So it was foreign to me. But by me doing that, I found me. And it was like, wow, it was just game changer. And then by opening up like that, it's literally like my phone became my tool. So I clear all instruments anyway, but my phone just literally, like, I met you, I met David Starr, I met Bonnie, I met Leo Ross, I met all these different beings, but I never looked for anyone. You're all just like
they just kind of showed up in your line of vision. Right,
okay. But although it was beautiful, I started losing me again, because I was looking at all you guys thinking, wow, you're amazing. And I was like, oh, I can't do that. So then I've took myself away a little bit, and
I can feel, I know what you're saying, because like I was invited to, like, cause I've always just been like the artist, and I never really like, I was always very spiritual. I was always doing kind of like channeling and stuff like this, but I never really did it, like performed it like out loud with or did anything, you know, like, and I was being invited, like, the Hearts of Change, they had me on for this like healing night. It was like a moon thing. And I remember going on there, and I remember like David was there and Bonnie was there, and there was a few other people, and they were all like, they were healers, you know, they call themselves healers. I'm like, I don't think I'm a healer, guys. And why do you want me on here? You know, and I don't do anything magical. Like, I don't sit here and do light language. I don't sit here and do channeling. I just kind of sit here. What am I going to do for this whole like hour that we're on here? And they're like, just do whatever you feel like it. And I got my crystals out, and I just kind of sat there in the dark with my crystals and the candles, like, and I didn't know what to do. And I ended up channeling that night, and I wasn't expecting it. But I think what we do is we tend to like see what everybody else is doing, and we don't realize that our own gifts are very special as well. Like, when I started doing my little videos, like getting ready, because I was like, oh, I've got to do some stuff for the Divine Ray, because, and like, I've got to come up with these like amazing videos to put on, these 1 minute things. And I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? I don't know how to do this, because I do the vlogs, but they're like long and drawn out and everything. How do I do this? And I started just playing with the editor thing that I had on my computer. And I remember the first day I made my intro for my Shine Your Light Network. And I remember thinking to myself, you're not good enough to do this, because you don't know how to do all those graphic things and all the stuff that everybody like is doing. They're all looking very professional and stuff like this. I'm thinking, you can't do that. And but then I said, you know what? I know what I can do. And I went out to the forest and I videoed myself doing my thing with my crystals and stuff. And I did all kinds of video that day. And I came home and I started like separating out the stuff. And I did like this voiceover thing. And I put everything through, and it was like a 1 minute video. And I was shocked at what I could create. I was like, oh my goodness, this does look professional. And it doesn't look like anybody else's thing. And you know what? It wasn't meant to look like anybody else's. It's supposed to be your own essence, like what you're doing. And so it doesn't matter. So I can see where you feel like watching all of us and everything, you think, oh, I can't do all that. So I'm not good enough for that.
I think it was as well, because I used to just think of myself as a healer. Although I've always been magical, I pushed that to one side, because from when I was a little girl, I've always seen things. I mean, in everything. I've always heard. I've got all my clear senses, but I didn't, because I suppressed that so much, because I couldn't share it. I'd lost that essence of me. So being a healer with the title, I'd then receive heal. So I was doing all these different things, but then I was joining other people's videos, paying them, and then it'd be like, oh wow, I done that the other night. So I'd feel, because I'm very Lemurian, where I feel everything. I think that's like a Lemurian trait. So I was thinking, wow, I done that, and I was doing that. Wow. And I'm looking at the words thinking, nah, I wouldn't have wrote all that though about it. So it's the build up. It was like with me saying to you, what do I write about myself? Because it's putting it into, like with me saying I don't do the whole manual side of it. I literally don't. I'm just open and in flow. So it's hard to make, like, all you guys make things sound just so exotic and amazing. And like, are you messing?
I don't go through. I'm not one of those people that I actually just got my certification for Reiki only because Bonnie kind of suggested, she says, you know, people like it when you have certification behind you. You know what I mean? Like they want to hear, they want to have some, if you're going to be doing private sessions with people and stuff like that, they're going to want to know, like, where did you study and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, like I've studied through like basically connecting to my guides, and they're showing me all this stuff. And I'm just thinking and at first it was really hard for me because I was like, you know what? I'm certified because I'm alive and I'm certified to do this because because I was regressed. I did a lot of past life regression and stuff. And I'm back from like the times of Lemuria. Like I know, like I have all this information, like with the crystal gazing and the stuff that I'm doing with the crystal gazing and stuff. That stuff I was taught. Like I was like, there's no course you can take out there in this world to teach you, like to certify you in crystal gazing and what you're doing. And people out there, they think that they have to certify you. You have to take a course for everything. But I don't believe that.
Isn't it? It's putting it into
you go in and you're given these gifts. You're given this talent. Like the artwork that I do. I never finished art school. Okay. I didn't finish. And I remember there was this lady that she was in my hometown, and she was an art teacher, and she was a ceramic person. She was a ceramicist and everything. And I love ceramics, and I was totally into it. And before I moved to Ireland, I sat down with her and I said to her, I go, I don't feel like I'm good enough, that I can't do my ceramics because I never finished. And you have to, quote unquote, get that degree in order to be a ceramic artist. And she was like, no, you don't. You can, if it's inside you, right? And so when I moved to Ireland from New York, I took all of my money from my retirement account that I had saved in this horrible factory, and I bought all of my equipment to become a ceramic artist. And I did it, and I started doing it. And I saw this lady.
Your fairies.
I saw her a couple weeks ago at my parents' memorial service, and she came over because it was on Zoom, and she was there. And she just said, she goes, I just want to tell you, I am so proud of you. I remember having that conversation with you 20 years ago before you moved to Ireland. And I remember you telling me that you couldn't do what you loved because you didn't have the certification, that you didn't have the degree. And she goes, I have been watching you. I have been watching what you're creating. And I absolutely love everything you're doing. And I'm so proud of you for following your heart and not worrying about that piece of paper. Yeah. So
indoctrination at its finest. Well, I've done it the opposite way round. So I've got a file this thick with all the papers in. I'm insured a lot, and it doesn't mean anything because no one's ever asked.
No, they don't.
But no, my opening up really has only happened within the last 2 years, as in me channeling and things like that. Like my vocal has literally only just started from Lionsgate.
So, like, have you started doing some types of light language since you were saying like your vocal has just opened?
Yeah, it started opening. I'm quite scary.
I did too. Mine's only open. My light language only started a few weeks ago.
Really? See, so Lionsgate for me was like mid-July. I started really, really coming on. Like even more gifts were coming in. Well, I wouldn't even say more gifts were coming in. I was being more aware. So I think from last Lionsgate, I'd done loads of clearing, but on my body. So with us, I literally have gone through the Trinity. So my body was the last stage. So I've done all my body clearing. And then from July, I've got 2 new kittens because I'm a glutton for punishment. I've got 4 cats, But I got 2 new kittens and I started speaking light language to them. So one's a Tigerian, literally I've seen a higher self. My ragdoll's a lion, it's a male as well, full on white lion. But I started speaking light language and I was like, whoa, Baz, listen to this.
What does it sound like? Can you do some? Will you and I do a little bit of our new light language?
It's like very shamanic style. Well, that's what I feel it is. Anyway. So obviously I'm a mum. I've got 3 children, 2 of which are 6 and 8. So I'm very hands-on mum. So my private time at the moment, I just start channeling. My eldest is 18 and he calls me a solar panel because as soon as the sun comes out, I'm at the sun. But my moments are in the bathroom when I get a minute to myself. The other night, I shared this with my friend. I turned like I was pure on Avatar, new Avatar the film. I was the lady, like the girl, full on. I looked like her, and I was in like a circle. So I don't just have to shut my eyes now to see. So I could imagine this.
You could feel it.
Women, and I was giving it loads. It was hilarious.
That happened to me when I was in the pool. I turned into a water dragon.
Really? Yay! Oh, it's so cool. I've been a fire dragon. I've actually cleared areas with fire. So it is cool. I love it.
And it's fun. But when I was in the water and like the language started coming out, it was like, ooh, and nakaka, ooh, like this kind of thing going on, right? I was like, what is this? Oh my goodness. Like, what is going on? That was like the first time I started doing light language was this water dragon going, ooh, naku, nashu, and all this stuff going on. I go, oh my God, what's going on?
I've actually found out because I thought I made a video on Lionsgate. I was guided to. I literally put that top on and do that now, kind of summons. So I just started recording, and it was channeling the higher mind, higher heart. So I was doing this figure of 8, and this vocal started coming out. So I thought it related to that because I'm still quite naive when it comes to what things mean. But then I'm learning just through experiencing it. I'm learning that it's not necessarily. So you've just said that was because of the dragon. Have you made those sounds again with a different being? Because I'm finding that I'm making the same kind of sounds per different being that I'm connecting with.
I've got another being that came in the next day, and that her name is Ayanata. She was like, Ayanata. Let me see if I can do her. She goes, Ayanata is here. And she'll say, and then she goes, Ayahuna tiala kana tuna yola tayona tiana kuna kuka kana lana tu yana tuya. And she keeps going on like this, right?
Is she a mermaid?
What?
Is she a mermaid?
She is a galactic fairy.
Right, okay.
She's only from Sirius. And so she's kind of like, I think she's coming from Sirius B, which is all of the dolphin and the, they're all come from the water. But it's like, oh, it's very like in my throat. And I had like a really sore throat when this was coming on. I seem to have all this like watery things. Like you got the water dragon, you've got this like galactic fairy that's coming from like Sirius B. I'm just kind of like, what is all this all about?
I'm suffering with my throat at the moment, but I think it's because I'm being more vocal.
So you gotta do some light language for us. Do some.
Okay, let me connect. Again, it's new. Me channeling, me hands on. No.
All right, keep going. Cause like, let it all go. Let it go.
Hayanakatia naka. Oh yeah. Ayanaka ya. Ayana. There's fairies. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, and I. Oh, ay, and I. Ay, 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 oh, ay, ay, oh. There you go.
She sounds very much like the Ayanata, like it's the same type of like sounds coming out. Oh my goodness, we might be light languaging the same being from the same place.
So I found that it's not necessarily, because when I connect in, I can literally, it's like I look at it as in, don't take it as, I look at it as a beehive. I'm saying don't fixate on the word because people do work with beehives, but I look at it as a beehive, and in each little pocket, so I imagine it being filled with honey. In each little pocket, there's different beings. So I can literally just go like this, and then so whatever comes out of my mouth is just coming out of my mouth. But that's what I mean. So I was looking at other people thinking, oh no, I have no idea what they're saying. But now I've took that aspect out of my mind. I can understand foreign language.
Exactly. You can understand kind of what they're talking about. Like the last day when my Bonnie and I had a conversation with our drag, like mine was a water dragon, and hers just, I don't know, it's not a water dragon. I think it's an air or flying one anyway. And hers, the name is what?
Is it a Mayan dragon?
I'm not sure what she calls her Nala. She goes in between, she takes her like through these pyramid things. So like maybe it could be. And she, so Nala and I were Nala and Crayon, my guy, were having a conversation together, and they were like, no more war. Like I could hear what they were saying, like and they were saying, no more war, and no more fighting. And I actually put that one up on the Divine Ray. I put the snippet of what came through, and we basically had a conversation going back and forth. And that's what they're, it's just so cool. It's so cool being able to like do that, because I never felt like I had anything to share because everybody else is doing all this amazing stuff, and so it's cool.
But I also find it's not even, because I was like that as well, obviously, but I feel like when it's your time, that's when it comes. So I felt like, no, I've never ever felt untoward towards anyone either for having their gifts. I've been like, wow, they're amazing. But all I kept on hearing was just be. I was like, what does that even mean? What does just be mean? And it was a case of, I'm that old, I'm new. So ours is coming in now for new earth. So all those oldies that woke up years and years ago, it's all layers that are coming in. That's how I feel it's working now. And we're all puzzle pieces anyway for each other. That's how I see it. So it's not, oh, I need you for that and I need you for that. Just by watching certain beings is waking something or waking a remembrance up in you anyway. That's how it works.
So what age were you when you woke up? Like when you...
Well, I call it a reawakening because I was age 2 when I first saw my granddad. That was my first memory. He actually, he's the one that returned me. So he died 2 years before I was born. And he pulled me through. So the very last night, I'll tell you, the very last night of the awakening. So I'd gone through literally, so I'll tell you snippets, tell you what my husband knows. I'd walk into a supermarket. It's very out there. Walked into a supermarket and I'd literally, it was like I was alien. So I'd literally look at the till and it'd go to 0. It was, I didn't consume food in my mouth. I looked at food and I was full. It was literally looking back now, that is, at the time I was petrified. I thought I was a lunatic. But the very, very last night, I remember being in my bed in my parents' house, single bed with my covers right up like this, petrified. And I'd gone into a sleep. And through my dream, because I've always had amazing dreams, and through my dream, I'd walked through fire. And it was my granddad who pulled me out, and I became a fire phoenix. So that's why I call it my reawakening, because I'd already had all the woo beforehand.
I think I had it all too when I was little, but I had I guess if you want to call it a reawakening, was in 2015 when I broke my arm and I was totally like taken off, like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even lay in a bed. I couldn't lay backwards because the way I had broken it, the bone was like, it kept coming, like every time if I moved backwards, it started coming undone. Like you couldn't sit or anything. It was so sick. It was so gross, right? And I went months like this. And I couldn't, there was only one thing I could do, and that was go within. There wasn't anything else to do. I couldn't do a thing. Like
that's why I say I was all the way through my childhood, because that's all I could do was go within. So I know all children are magical. Anyway, they're more connected, aren't they? Because they don't have the social impact of forgetting kind of thing. But no, I was always quite magical. And my granddad, Gangan, I used to call him, that was my mum. So it was my dad's dad, who I'd never met, who is now a guardian and pulled me through the fire. But my mum's dad, I used to call him Merlin. He was a little wizard. He was so magical anyway. So yeah. But Usui was, no disrespect to him, I've actually hung out with him. He's absolutely amazing. But quantum is my baby. Quantum and alchemy, they are my babies.
So you work you work with Merlin then as well?
I work with Merlin as in, we're more like associates. I've seen Merlin a few times. Because me and I was in this group, and they were really excited about the whole Merlin and King Arthur, and I was like, I'll play along, but I'm not really. With no disrespect to him, but so
yeah.
I don't really look up or down to anyone. And I think this, like, especially this last year, because I was thinking, I had no one to talk to. So it was like, well, I keep on seeing that person. And all these other people are saying, well, they're then that person. So am I all these people? And it was really like battering my head, because I see everyone. I can connect to anything. So I was like, so am I Jesus then? Or am I Mary? Am I Mary Magdalene? And it was like, no, it's the frequency match. That's how I see it now.
I think that we're all, it comes down to when Bonnie and I were we first started doing this mystery school thing. And one of the first things that we were told was, we're literally all one. Like, there's no, like, we as human beings put ourselves into, we try to compartmentalize, and we try to be like, oh, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this, and I come from this place and I come from that place, and this is where my origin is.
Yeah.
Our origin is every single one of us have the same origin. We all have it. We've all been everything, done everything, and we are like all one. We are everything, and that means that we're also the dark as much as we are the light. And so, like, anybody out there that says that they never ever ever were an aspect of the dark, they don't know really. Yeah, because we all.
I can't bear people that say, oh, you have to lose your ego and all the rest of it. Okay, it needs to be curbed a little bit, but I love my ego. I laugh all day at myself. I'm hilarious. But that's how you've got to look at it. It's I practice what I preach. So I teach my children, do unto others what you want done to yourself. And I live by that myself. So it's helped me being an actual mum, because I've helped the mother. I've been a mother since I came in. Basically, I mother everything, everyone. Sometimes I come across so patronising, and I don't mean to, because I'm everyone's mother. That's just how I feel. But physically being a mother with my own children, it's made me this big magical being anyway, because everything I teach them, I do. All the childlike wonder, I do.
And also, I think that we teach our children by example. And so we can't say one thing and then do another. We need to, we have to be who we are. Like if we say, we have to show them. We have to show them. And that means that we need to follow through. We need to follow through on our dreams and our aspirations. If we want our children to follow through on their dreams and their aspirations, we have to do that as well.
Yep, exactly. They're my little workout partners.
So how many children do you have?
I have 3.
You have 3. Are they all little or?
No, 6, 8 and 18.
Oh, okay.
So my baby girl is the 6-year-old, and I've got 2 boys. All starseeds, all absolute, amazingly, they're so gifted, it's unbelievable.
Do they go through a time, do you find your older ones going through a time where they just kind of like don't want anything to do with what we're doing? They don't want it.
Yes, 2020, he had a little bit of a moment himself, and I think he came into body then, and he basically broke down and said, "Mum, just promise me I'm going to be okay." And that's when I saw, because I've started seeing higher selves now, so that's when I saw his higher self, and we had our little moments. But he's very clairaudient, and obviously through my experience, I can make sense of it for my children. So I'm so glad I'm the way I am, because I'm not repeating what I received when I was growing up. I can hold that container for my children. So I just allow them to be their magical little woo selves. That my middle, Luke, he's probably older than me, and as in out of this incarnation. He is so old, it's unbelievable. But I always say to him, babe, in this life, my 8-year-old son start acting that way, because he's just so old-headed. It's unbelievable. He's 8. I'm a little girl. She's just the cock of the house. So she is. Yeah, they're just amazing.
I watch, David Starr. He has his kids with him all the time, and they're just like, they're so cute, and they're just so like ready to take on the world, and it's nice to see the young ones like that, and to not have to change them. I know, like with my oldest, he's 22, and he didn't want anything to do with me talking about any of this stuff for a few years. Yeah, he's still not really open to it. He just kind of smiles and laughs, and his girlfriend buys me crystals for Christmas and stuff. And he just kind of smiles and laughs and says, Ma, don't. When I went to go up to Tara with to do some grid work and stuff, and I said, I'm going to go put a crystal in a well. He goes, oh my God, don't be going and activating rivers, Ma. Because there's this guy, I don't know if you know this comedian. It's very funny. It's called, this one kid, his mother's into like the stuff that we're into, and she goes around and she activates rivers all over the United States. And this comedian, he gets on, he's like about 20 years old, and he comes on and he talks about his mother, and he kind of makes fun of her a little bit, he's like, she'll say, he'll be like, what did you do today? What did you do, Mom? I haven't talked to you in a while. And she goes, oh, I was in Montana and we activated a river. And he goes, you activated a river, Mom? What did you do? And she'll say, oh, we go to the river, we do a little bit of a ceremony, and we put the crystal in and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, and what happens when you activate the river, Mom? Did the fish come up and like, did they like bubble up, or they go bop, 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 bop when you activate the river? Or what's the deal? Because I need to know, because like if this is a thing, like a family thing that we're supposed to be doing, I need to learn about what this activating a river is all about. And he just goes on, and he just really laughs. And then he talked to her on another day, and she says something about, I'm off doing something. I just activated rivers in another spot. He goes, oh, Mom, I already activated that river. You need to go back and tell the council or whatever. You need to talk to them and tell them, you know, that river's been activated twice now. So, you know, you just kind of make fun of him. And so my son thinks I could just see my son saying the same thing. So I sent that off to him. And ever since then, he's just like, don't be going and activating rivers, Mom.
No, mine are very accepting. My eldest's my little best mate anyway, so he just loves me. He just lets me be. So, but it does help them having their own little gifts as well. So
yeah.
Mm.
It does. So tell us a little bit more. Tell us a little bit. I was reading in your bio about was it Lemuria, or I'm trying to remember exactly.
Starseeds.
Yeah.
So May 2020 was when I first again all these things have just appeared to me. This intuition week came about. I'd never swear I didn't even sign up to anything. Next minute I'm in this group and we're doing this meditations. And I met my my good friend who lives in New York. I met her by doing it, and we started mirroring each other. It was really cool, the connection we had. And we started mirroring each other. So I'd have a sleep. I'd have a dream, and then I'd be like messaging her. It was like I was like a kid in a candy shop, as in I had someone to tell about me amazing dreams. So I'd message her going, wow, and this happened last night, blah, blah, blah. And she'd go, no way, I've just got this download. So she was she was probably more open than I was at this point in terms of receiving. So she was receiving these downloads and she was getting told it was for me. So I was the dreamer, she was the receiver, and we were coming together. So she got this Lemurian, she got taken off. Well, I dreamt I was in this cave. I didn't know where it was. I hadn't even heard of Lemuria at this point. Mm-hmm. Hadn't heard of Atlantis, hadn't heard of anything. I'm under this water, lifting these things up. I was like on a raft. And to be honest, I thought it was Egypt, because to me, the only pyramids that ever existed were in Egypt, because that's what the book told us. That's how naive I was to it all. And apparently it wasn't. It was Atlantis. And I was bringing up barrels of information. And because of the work I'd done, I believe that's why I received this seed. So, of course, I didn't know what all this was until, I don't know, I'm lost with time nowadays, but I don't know whether it was this year. It was this year I met my good friend Ryan, who was like, oh yeah, they're called seeds. I was like, well, what are seeds? So all these people who I've met along the way have filled in the gap. For 2019, I had a soul profile done. And that was when I first established I was Menta. Again, never heard of it. Yeah, Orion has very bad press, doesn't it? So if you say to anyone you're Orion nowadays, you're like, oh, they're all apparently baddies. But no, so everyone had always told me I was Palladian. And I'm not, I'm from Menta. Again, my good friend Ryan, he'd confirmed it, but I've started receiving my own confirmations now. So I'd get told all this information, I'd just be like, wow, okay, and it'd just go away again. I didn't absorb anything.
Where's Antarctica? Where is that located?
Oh, you've gone really weird.
Where are you? Am I still here?
You sound like a robot.
What?
No, you sound freaky. No. No.
Am I really weird? Am I sound like a robot?
Yeah, you sound funky.
Let me see what I sound like on the YouTube. Let me see if I can hear myself.
No, I don't like it.
Here. I can't hear it.
It sounds funky.
Do I still sound weird? Because I'm not sounding weird on the YouTube side.
Yeah. Very weird.
Ooh.
You can't handle the energies.
Okay, so Patty Shoon said that everything sounds okay on the on YouTube. She says that I don't sound different. Might be the connection inside the StreamYard. That happens sometimes.
It's the woo.
Am I still sounding weird?
Just fell on the phone.
What is that? Horus?
Yeah. Cosmic gateway, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. That just fell on the phone.
Mm.
Oh, you normal now?
I think so. Am I normal? Am I normal again?
He's just fixed it.
Am I normal again?
Yeah.
I think I maybe I went through.
Sorry, I don't like that word.
Maybe I went through a frequency change.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything to change it, so.
Wow. Energies. So yeah, so I don't fixate on names. I think this since last Lionsgate, like I said, this July, with me getting all me vocal and everything now, I think it's more the mind's coming back, as in, and I don't even mean the mind's heart coherence, I don't even mean that, I mean the remembrance of the knowledge is coming back. Mm-hmm. So my manual, so to speak. So yeah, I don't fixate on the titles. I remember Lemurian times, I remember Egyptian times, I remember, as in I've personally dreamt and it's felt real, and my body's told me, my body, I'm like a walking pendulum, my body speaks to me. So unless I feel that, it's not true to me. Mm-hmm. So I personally know, yes, I've been Lemurian, yes, I've been Egyptian, yes, I've been Mintarkan.
Yeah, that's what I was asking you. What is Mintarkan? Where is that?
It's the third star on Orion's belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you know what kind of beings that they are there, or what do they look? Are they humanoid looking, or?
When I've seen myself, I looked like a giant fairy. Is the only way to describe it? As in fairies are little. Mm-hmm. I see giant fairies, but not giant, as in. So I'm 5'3", so say my height. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I've seen me as just a fairy in Mintarkan. It's two suns, as in two suns in the sky, and it basically just feels like Lemuria to me.
Mm.
Same. It's that same kind of vibe. So
I'm wondering if the unicorns and stuff are around there. Did you see any unicorns when you're seeing anything from Mintarkin?
Not from Mintarkin. There was lots of sea dragons, all rainbow, iridescent, pearlescent kind of vibe. But again, it's trying to get your mind into, is this Mintarka or is this well, it's Mintarka, it's Archuvia, it's called the actual area. But to me, it's all Lemuria, because that's my main memory. David Starr informed me I ascended through the sun. I think I really annoyed him because I descended and I'm still here now. Because I think people like to think that they're going somewhere, and
no, we just keep going and doing and experiencing all different kinds of things. And I don't really know as if there's even a purpose as to why we come and play these games that we're doing. But it is kind of like a hologram. Like, I often wonder, like,
big time now is different.
I often wonder if we're living in a hologram and it's all just kind of like a video game or something like this, right? Why do we feel so much? Like, why do we feel so much pain? And if we're living in a hologram, I don't know. I haven't contemplated that.
That's what it all comes down to, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is alive.
Yeah. Well,
people must come into my house. Honestly, I do laugh when people come into my house. As soon as I've set my house up anyway, so everyone that comes in just loves the energies in my house. They love the energies my family. But say if one of the children, because they're as clumsy as me, walk into the door, for example, or the table, we rub it better. We do a magic rub and we go, "Oh, sorry, table." People must think you're absolutely crazy. But the table has feelings as well. Everything is alive.
I talk to my kiln and my washing machine and all that because I want it to do good things. I want it to keep going. So I tell it how much I love it and you're doing a good job. I talk to the car and tell her, I tap her on I give her a tap every now and then and say, thanks for running and stuff,
I talk outside all the time in my garden. I've got a lovely little garden space and 2 trees, which they both introduced themselves to me, Annie and Abel. And I talk to them all the time, and I literally, I've got, it's like loads of big, massive hedges. And I see all kinds of beings in there, and I'm talking all the time, and you see people walk past with the dog, and they stop, and like, you can see them looking around like that, and I'm like that laughing, thinking, you must think I'm absolute nuts, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So we're coming on to the hour is almost ending here. Is there anything else that you would like to share about yourself or talk about today before we close down?
No, just obviously, if anyone resonates with me or my energy, you can find me at Holistical Heaven on Facebook.
Yeah, I was going to write that down and put that up, and then I couldn't find the link right when we went on, because remember we were scheduled on a different day and I had everything written down.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
It's all one word, isn't it? Holistical Heaven.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you can just message me direct.
I can't spell the word heaven today. I can't spell heaven. It's not looking right at all. How do you spell heaven?
Heaven. Have you noticed phones? You do predictive text. Phones don't like beautiful, like higher vibe words. So heaven, it autocorrects it. Codes, it autocorrects it to curses, which I find very fascinating.
Okay, I'm just going to put it up here. It's probably I capitalized it, but it's probably not that way when you're actually looking at it. But at least if we can get it on here,
yeah,
holisticalheaven.com.
Yeah.
At least it's like a visual so that people
Yeah,
can see that. So, and what kind of things would you do? Do you do any kind of like private sessions for people or anything like that?
yeah, I do private sessions. I do all different types of healing. So from usui to Karuna Ki, Amadeus, Kundalini.
What is Karuna Ki? Can you tell us what that is?
Karuna Ki, it's a form of Reiki, but basically there's just different talismans.
Okay.
So I'm a master at all of them. So I don't tend to, when I heal now, I don't go with the way you think of your key and it goes into flow and you heal. Anything that they need comes through me. So
it's almost like you have your own little modality that you do.
Yeah. So I tend to like to activate and attune beings because I don't want anyone looking up at me because we're all equal. It's just obviously I've done the work.
And you've got keys and codes that they need. That's why if someone resonates with you, I always say that you have special keys and codes and that you're meant to meet with each other and do something together. And it doesn't mean that one is better than the other or one person can heal the other person, because really all it is it's a resonance of our energy.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
Definitely. And I gain just as much. It's in my one-to-one sessions, I do it like this, via distance. And I connect literally and we feel each other instantly. So it's a beautiful connection anyway. So yeah. Can you feel me right now?
Yeah.
What do I feel like?
You're feeling very okay. So your energy that I'm feeling right now. So first, the energy that I was first feeling is like you're excited and a little bit kind of nervous. So I can feel that little bit off from you a little bit, but I can see there it's just a lot of light coming from you. I'm feeling a lot of light and a lot of love. I can feel.
That's all I know. And it took me, I've prayed for love, and it took me 41 years to realize that I am love. So it's not even about it's unconditional love. So this is where I struggle with, oh, I'm your healer and you come to me. No, it's I love you and I'd be honored to work with you. That's the kind of exchange I have with clients.
And I can see like there's a little bit of an aura around you. It's a very bright.
What color am I today?
Well, today I'm seeing like a big white. I'm seeing a big white like halo around you.
Right. Okay.
And I don't know if it's because you have the yellow on. I'm seeing yellow as well. So.
Oh no, I'm very golden.
But anyway, so I'm very excited. I'm very happy that you came on, and because you're also, we can find you at holisticalheaven.com, and you also have been one of the people that have opened up a Divine Ray profile, and we really I think David appreciates that. He's really trying very hard to get everybody to really know what the Divine Ray is all about. And so we can find you on the Divine Ray, and you can, I don't know if you have sessions that you promote on the Divine Ray, but you can also do that in your store.
I learned that yesterday. I'm awful at technology. I'm a book girl. I really need to, I'll have to get my children.
I know, I have a book too, so yeah. Okay, so we'll find you, and you can find Sarah on the Divine Ray as well if you're looking to move over to the Divine Ray. And anybody out there that's watching this today, if you would like to come on to a community chat and give us a chance to get to know you a little bit better and get to feel your essence, please let us know at the New Earth AC 1111 at gmail.com, or you can let myself, Robin Nicole, or Bonnie Bird, or David Starr know through private message, and we can hook you up with a community chat. We have a whole schedule going on every week, so just let us know and we'll fit you in. And if you're a person that feels like you have something to give and you would like to host a unity circle, we're always open to people coming on and promoting a unity circle with us. And I'm just looking at my schedule, so I just want to tell people what's coming up. So next week we have 2 unity circles. We have one on Wednesday the 18th, and that's going to be held by Kathy Mason. And her unity circle is Alchemy of Your Soul Purpose. And then we have Adam. I was going to say David Starr. Then we have Adam coming on. Adam, he's called the Black Swamp Medium. And he's going to be doing a unity circle next Sunday, the 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. GMT. And he plays this like magical Indian flute. And I think he has 3 or 4 different ones. And I think he's going to come on and play his magical flute. And then the Wednesday after that, we have another unity circle, Teresa Chillingsworth, and she is going to be talking about new energies of the earth. And then we have a lot more scheduled, and we're booking into the end of September now. So we're booked all the way solid. So if you would like to, I'm looking at my calendar and I'm thinking there's only like 1 date left in September, and then we're booking into October for unity circles. So if you'd like to do one, just let us know and we'll set you up. And I think that's all I have to say for today. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of I was going to be putting up a video of about the Divine Ray, because I just want to help our friend David Starr with promoting his new Divine Ray. So I'm going to put the official video up and end it. So for right now, for you, myself and you, Sarah, we're just going to say goodbye, and then I'm just going to end it with the Divine Ray video. So goodbye.
Bye, guys.
You don't have to leave yet. I'll talk to you in a second, okay?
Okay.